morning, Aletheia Church family. It is Good Friday, and that means we're going to talk about the cross. Because when it comes to encounters with Jesus, I believe probably one of the most powerful things you can ever experience in your life is encountering the character and the nature and the mercy of Jesus and seeing what he has done for us on the cross. And Jesus actually has an encounter with two people on the cross, the criminals who were hung beside him. And I'd like to read that account for you out of the Gospel of Luke, chapter 23, verse 39 through 43. One of the criminals who were hanged railed at him, saying, "Are you not the Christ? Save yourself and us." But the other rebuked him, saying, "Do you not fear God, since you are under the same sentence of condemnation? And we indeed justly, for we are receiving the due reward for our deeds. But this man has done nothing wrong." And he said, "Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom." And he said to him, "Truly I say to you, today you will be with me in paradise." When we see Jesus on the cross, we see three things. First, we see what we deserved. The criminal who rebukes the other criminal for railing at Christ. He says we are getting what we deserve. We are getting our due condemnation. And yet the fact that Jesus died on the cross means that the place where the criminals were is what we deserved. Remember that Jesus came as a substitute for us. Now you might say, whoa, okay. I'm not a criminal who deserved to be, executed by the Romans. But we actually are. How do we know this? Well, the criminal recognizes that the penalty that they're getting is their due for the crime that they have committed. The fact that Jesus Christ came into the world, and in order to deal with our sin, he hung on the cross. What that means is that when we see Jesus hanging on the cross, we see the due condemnation that our sin deserves. And I know it's sobering, and I know that's like 1,000-ton weight upon us, but we need to recognize that that is the grievousness of sin. That the due condemnation is that kind of judgment. So on the cross, first we see what we deserved. But the second thing we see is that he didn't deserve it at all. Notice what the criminal says. He says, "We indeed justly were receiving our due rewards, but this man has done nothing wrong." We see that Jesus did nothing wrong. I accompanied a friend to a court hearing that he was having at the courthouse, and it was one of the saddest experiences I've had. He stood up front, and I saw a judge, basically with no due process, completely deny him justice. And I was furious. Think about Jesus Christ on the cross. Not only was he innocent, but he had spent years doing what? Healing the sick, preaching the good news to the poor. And here he was, hanging on a Roman execution stake. Yet he had done nothing wrong and didn't deserve the penalty. So we see what we deserved, we see that he did nothing wrong. But third, we see his mercy. The criminal cries out to him, "Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom." And how does Jesus respond? "Truly I say to you, today you will be with me in paradise." What a profound moment. Jesus, in his agony and his suffering, responds to this criminal's request with mercy. The beautiful good news of the gospel is that whoever recognizes that Jesus has done nothing wrong, and yet he has taken the sin that they deserved, and they call out to Jesus, he gives them mercy. My friends, on this Good Friday, I think we just need to let the full effect of the encounter with Jesus on the cross lay upon us, sit upon our shoulders. Because at the heart of this good news is the incredible mercy of Jesus, that he did nothing wrong, Yet he stood and he hung for what we deserved. What mercy. God bless you.